Oh, shoot, I'm live. How about that? Okay, well, I'm live. I didn't mean to actually go live. I was still in the middle of setting it up, but whatever. We're here. No title. It's fine. I was going to set up a title. I just hit the live button by accident. I was going to get it. I'll make it all nice for you guys. But we're here. I just got done hanging out with Raheem and Nigel at this very old school English pub tavern thing. It was a lot of fun. They call it a PFL, a proper fucking lunch is apparently the slogan for it. So somebody says your name was enough. Thank you, Agent Fire. I agree. That is exactly the attitude I want to cultivate among my followers. That indeed, as long as my name is showing, you should watch. Faraj is killing it. I was going to do this as like a hangout scope because I haven't scoped in a while and chilled with you guys. You know, I scoped a lot yesterday while I was on the campaign trail, hanging out in Kent. It's not really a drunk scope, but I wouldn't say I'm completely sober. I'm probably like 1 to 2 drinks in. So what are the consequences of today's elections? Zach Ford asks. It'll depend on if he wins. We don't actually get polling. One of the sort of disappointing things about this trip is that apparently they decided to put off the vote count, all the way until Sunday evening when we will be in the air. As Pat says, I'm sober by English standards. I did not have gin and tonic. I had beer. It's really cool. Nigel Farage poured me a beer. That was really cool. I really like that. Like, I'm going to take that one with me. You know, like Nigel pouring me a beer and handing me a beer. That was a really cool moment. I really enjoyed that. I had a really good, it was neat. And he's a really cool guy. Got to talk to him, got to talk to Richard Tice, the chairman of the Brexit Party, got to meet a lot of people. Really had, it was very cool. And, I hung out with Nigel a little bit on the campaign trail yesterday too. So, but as Brian says, no results. Or polls until Sunday. What is Pelosi? I have no idea what Pelosi's doing. Yeah, no, as Brian says, it's very annoying. But of course they're doing it this way. I mean, if they thought they were going to win, right? Like, real talk. If they thought they were going to win, there would be no question about whether or not we'd be getting results. It's because they're about to lose that they're like, well, we're not going to finalize the count until Sunday. So they just minimize the newsworthiness of the story. What's good, Ian? Ian Miles Chong, our very hardworking managing editor here. He's been doing a great job. Really, he's the one who's making it possible for us to even be in Europe. Like, if we didn't have Ian kind of holding down the fort on human events, we would be in deep trouble in terms of our ability to actually have content on the site while also doing the networking that we're trying to do here. So I'm very, very grateful to Ian. If y'all don't follow him, @StillGray on Twitter, he's just killing it. He's doing a great job. So really, really happy with his performance. I am what is it? The opposite of George St. Pierre, right? George St. Pierre's famous line, I'm not impressed with your performance. Well, I am impressed with Ian's performance. Can they change votes? I don't think so. Probably better than that. You are banned from Twitter. Interesting. Officer Mike is here. Mike Morrison. What's good, bro? How you doing? Didn't realize they hadn't banned you from Periscope yet. I was a little worried about that. We haven't forgotten you, brother. We're working on it. Mike is here. Trump must resign is trending. I feel like there's somebody paying for these series of incredibly stupid hashtags on Twitter, right? There's some Democrat out there who's like, you know what we should do? You know what our hashtag should be? Trump must resign. Because if he do that, it'll make him resign. Really, it's just a hashtag to curry liberal favor, I think, and build some followings. But it's so dumb. Like, what? You go back to 2015 era Mike Cernovich, who was trying to control the narrative, and 2015, 2016 era Cernovich, who was trying to control the narrative on Twitter with hashtags. He was doing a much better job of it. Much better job of it. Derek is here. Hey, you guys want to talk about the whole, Kyle Kashuv using racial slurs? I found that fascinating. I don't know Kyle. I've never met him. It's not long ago that he said really horrible things. It's really bad. Here's a hint, guys. Here's a hint. I got a hint for you. Still Gray says, I've said worse than Kyle when you were 16. Yeah, I know. I know, Ian. I saw that shit. It was terrible. It was horrible. It's a good thing you're 35 and we can forgive you. But damn, dude, you went wild. Not to be mean, but it was oh God. I'm glad you're embarrassed about it because damn, it was bad. So CJ, Kyle and CJ need to meet you right. It's like, well, Kyle needs to actually do a little better than be like, I kind of regret. I didn't even think he said I regret it. I was like, those are sort of embarrassing. I'm like, embarrassing is when you hit on a girl and fail. It's a little more than embarrassing to use the N-word 50 times. That's more than embarrassing. It's bad. It's bad. It's racist. You need to stop saying, don't say racist things. Even in private. It's a very bad habit. A very bad habit. And that's understating things, but it's just not a word that should come out of your mouth. It's just not, period. Private, public, joke, whatever. It's just not a word that should come out of your mouth. It's like you should, and, even in private, if even in a jokey context, shouldn't come out of your mouth. It's like Jerry Seinfeld said, I don't try and find the humor in the word. Just don't say it. Somebody says you use the N. Oh yeah, go find the chats, dude. They're out there. You can go look for that shit. It's not good. Not good. So I sympathize more with CJ. People are trying to get on CJ for being angry. I'm like, no, CJ is being perfectly reasonable about being offended by that because it's offensive language and it's not the kind of thing you should say. And I think, especially in a world where Kyle and friends are trying to fence people off out of the movement, and then people are now apologizing for Kyle being like, oh, it was only a few years ago. It's yeah, well, let's see you apply that standard to the people you don't like, right? This doesn't feel like an objective standard. There's no way you'd let other people getting about it. And Eric makes a good point. 18 years old and learning life lessons in front of the whole world. It's a true point. I don't think Kyle should be permanently excluded from society. He said these things when he was 16. I think almost anything is forgivable at 16, save murder. But at the same time, it's it's only a few years ago and you aren't showing real contrition. So yeah, exactly. As Ian says, he can be forgiven, but it'll take time. You need to, that's the kind of thing that's okay, you should not be a public figure, right? You need to take time off from that whole public figure thing and sort yourself out. That's kind of how I think about it. It's you can't discipline yourself to not say the N-word. It's time to retire from the public figure business. You can go be a student for a while, mature, get better, improve. Somebody says Beto drunk driving and fleeing got forgiven. Yeah, but again, 20 years. So, not comparable to the Tucker Carlson stuff. No, the Tucker Carlson stuff wasn't comparable, right? Tucker Carlson said some bad things, but again, that was over 10 years ago, one. He seems much more mature now. I don't think I would have personally liked the Tucker Carlson of 2005. He seemed kind of like an asshole, to be honest. But, people grow and mature, and I think the Tucker Carlson of 2019 is much more interesting and robust and well-developed intellectual. So, Kyle Cash of the Turning Point kid. It sort of connects to a broader point, and as they point out, he's on the Shock Jock show. There were a few jokes he made that were really, I think, a little beyond the pale, but even so, it's 10 years ago. The problem with making children, we should talk about the problem of making children, stars. It's not a good thing. I talked about this during the Parkland thing. My objective world is that you shouldn't give 16-year-olds huge Twitter platforms because people want a Twitter platform really bad because, it's social proof. And there's truth to that. If there's social proof, there's benefits that come from having a platform. It's cool. It's a benefit. But a platform is a high wire and you're walking it all the time and you don't have a safety net. Having 100,000 Twitter followers, congratulations. You are now walking on a high wire in your social media content in a way that, and if smaller followings can get away with stuff because most people won't even see it. But when you have 100,000 followers or more, everybody will see your stuff. So you have to be disciplined. Yeah, as Ian says, the instant you become a public figure, you need to cut out the bad jokes. Right? I think it's just a basic matter of discipline and professionalism. Racial slurs, epithets, these are things that should just, racial slurs in general are bad and you shouldn't utter them, period. And so are, nasty epithets. But in particular, it becomes important when you are a public figure and to stop saying stuff like that and to behave more professionally. It's time to grow up, and understand that if you've recently said stuff like that, so somebody says, but wasn't it the stuff pre-fame? Sure, but it's still pretty bad. Jack Vasovic is here. What's good, Jack? How you doing, brother? It's been a while. What is this? This is the Hangout scope. I was gonna have like a title, and then I just clicked live, and so I'm live, and I'm doing it live. I'm just doing it. There's not even a topic. We got into talking the CJ Kyle Kashev stuff, and sort of my basic perspective that like, shut up, Jack. Forget how to title scopes. I know how to title a scope. I title them better than almost anybody. My scope titling is A+. My game is outstanding. All caps at the beginning, grab your attention, colon, explain, fantastic. My scope titling game is excellent. Oh yeah, Nigel Farage poured me a beer. That was cool. We need to figure out how to like connect Jack and sort of the Nigel team. There are like framing things we could do there. Somebody says, if a 16-year-old is triggering you, then you're the problem, not the 16-year-old. No, it's not triggering. Like, I'm not personally like triggered, because it's more like, I just think it's bad form and improper and rude. Like, but I mean, to me, it's like, I'm not even sure it's in my place to get like personally triggered or offended by the use of the N-word, but at the same time, objecting to it and encouraging people to not do it and recognizing that they should stop, Somebody says he should have done an apology video, not a statement. Yeah, I think that's right, Jack. Like, he needed to take that a little more seriously. It seemed like, he was a little bit flippant about it, and what he said was not something to be flippant about. Like, it was genuinely a problem. So he says, did that come from the parents? No, I mean, this is just the terrible high school circles that some people fucking revolve in. The real hypocrite is Reagan Battalion. Like, Reagan Battalion was trying to make light of what Kyle was saying, be like, Kyle's growing, he's a good person. Reagan Battalion's the guy who went after Milo for the pedophilia stuff. When Milo was a victim of pedophilia, like, that was way more understandable and way more justifiable and way more explainable, Milo's contents, than are Kyle Kashev's current ones. I mean, it was, so I don't really have any time for Reagan Battalion being like, yeah. Oh yeah, Reagan Battalion totally plays favorites. Like, he's like, oh, but Kyle's like friends with Shapiro, so he's one of our team. So we, people who are on our team get the benefit of the doubt, get charity. People who are not on the team don't. Yeah, right. Somebody says, still, I don't like Milo, but I still say he was done dirty by the Reagan Battalion. Agreed, right? Like, Milo has serious character flaws, and Milo has like really not helped himself in a million different ways, but he was still like done dirty by Reagan Battalion. Like, I'm going to like emphasize the importance of being able to hold two competing thoughts in your head at the same time. I talked about this yesterday with Raheem when it came to like Tommy Robinson and the Brexit Party. Like, hold two competing thoughts in your head at the same time, right? Milo was hard done by the Reagan Battalion. Milo hasn't helped himself with poor behavior. Why am I being so anti-Semitic attacking Kyle and Ben? Yeah, that's it. Milo slayed Jordan Peterson. I still haven't listened to it. Somebody says you cannot have two thoughts at the same time. Okay, like the test of an intelligent mind is being able to hold two competing thoughts in your head. Even if you are thinking them at the same time, being able to balance them and resolve them. Don't get bananic on me. What else is there? I mean, let's see. The traveling on that campaign was fascinating. It was really interesting. There's so much energy for the Brexit Party in general. I think they're going to riot in this election. I think they're going to get 40%, frankly. It was really interesting, like being on walking British high streets in Kent, seeing how people reacted to Nigel. There's a lot of positive reaction there. I am still in the United Kingdom. We're here till Sunday. Sunday we fly back to the States. I don't think I'll be doing any traveling in the near future after that. I really want to kind of focus on the site and getting things together. Warriors made the finals. Yeah, that was, I think they're going to win. The Shapiro BBC interview. I did a Periscope, and I think I did an article on this, to this effect, on Human Events. So go read that. I basically think that Shapiro should have prepared better and didn't handle it very well, but I thought the BBC interview was in bad faith. How come Nigel distances himself from Tommy? Because in the United Kingdom, Tommy Robinson is just not acceptable in polite company in a really, really profound way. And I think he's still dealing with like the lingering EDL attachments. So you want to win a political election, you just can't. I mean, it's not even a viable option. It would be like embracing Spencer, even though I think it's pretty obvious that Tommy is nowhere near a Richard Spencer or the anti-Semites in the United States. But yeah, as Jack says, right, Tommy's like Spencer in UK politics. Like you just can't, you can't even do it. UK politics is a little bit of a clown world in that respect. Like, because to me, I look at Tommy and I see a guy who's trying to reform or has tried to reform. Like clearly the EDL stuff was appalling, but like, and beyond the pale, but he like tried to apologize and reform and improve and like be better, you know, and to me that's really important, right? Like Richard Spencer is not repentant. That's the big difference. Like Richard Spencer and the anti-Semites in the United States are non-repentant about that stuff. And that's a problem because those are bad ideas and they should be rejected. But I'm a firm believer in, you know, redemption and things like that. So I feel like the sort of UK's unwillingness to even give him a chance. Yeah. Yeah. As Jack says, Tommy supporters aren't racists. What do I think about the Pelosi and the cover-up statement? I think it's a really good way to piss off Trump right before a meeting. Jewish pogroms? Seriously? Of course he is. Dude, Spencer was mad the other day at Human Events. He's like, why would I read this conservative drivel? I'm like, that's exactly the kind of person I'm trying to piss off. Like, if Richard Spencer liked what Raheem and I were doing at Human Events, something would have gone terribly, terribly wrong. Like, we don't want Richard Spencer to like our publication. We don't want Nick Fuentes to like our publication. We don't want anti-Semites to like our publication. They should not be happy with it. But no, I'd love a link. You can DM me a link, Jason, to the pogrom request. I would be interested to see that. Yeah, right. Why do you care so much? Well, that was sort of the idea. It's like, I mean, dude's not even relevant. Like, he's like, why do I care what Raheem and Will have to say? Like, why should I care what Richard has to say? He's done. He has no traction. He gets like 10 retweets. Like, this guy's a joke. He's a joker. You know, for a guy with his name recognition to be getting as little engagement as he does, it's pretty embarrassing. Oh, okay. Are you on, Jason? Are you on Discord? Are you a founding father? If you're a founding father, send me a message over there. And if not, why are you not a founding father? By the way, folks, why are you not founding fathers if you're still here? You should be founding fathers. Based Amy's here. You should be founding fathers. Yeah, King of Shade. Kathleen is a founding father. Excellent. Yeah, humanevents.com/members. Sign up. Support us. Right, founding chick. Exactly. Cantor's here, founding father. Diva is a founding father. Sarcasm's a founding father. Colleen's a founding father. Look at all these founding fathers in the chat. That's what I like to hear. Derek's a founding father. Pat's in the founding father. Opposite Mike is he's a contributor, my bad. He did contribute, I'll value that. Eric, David, John. Yeah, John was a founding father. John was there at the beginning. So Zach too. FFMB. Jesus, look at all these people, man. So many people. You don't understand like how good that feels, guys. Like it really does feel great. I'm so glad that you guys are supporting us. It makes it possible to do really interesting things, and it's bigger. As somebody says, 1776 is a great price point, and real talk, it's going up soon. Like it will go up on the 1st, and there will be no book for you either, right? Like understand that. Yeah, Bill's a beast. Lulu, all these people, man. Yeah, if you want to sign up, you can do it on Apple Pay. It's really easy. humanevents.com/foundingfathers. Click the button. Boom. Apple Pay. Easy. So, but the idea being that, like, you know, we actually think the Discord's valuable because we participate and it's a way to engage with us, and we take it really seriously. Like, I try and engage hard with the Discord and remember to do it. I think it's a really valuable way for it. I mean, we've been posting like behind the scenes pictures of us with Nigel and kind of what's going on and replying to you. Like, if you want to be able to get a handle on me on a regular basis, Twitter is less reliable than Discord now. Like, I will respond to my Discord messages. I will respond to my Discord messages, my mentions rather. So, you know, if you want to get a handle of me or Raheem, like being a member of the Discord is a good way. That's to say, like, that's not necessarily the best way to like get an article contributed. We see it as supporters. Is the Discord's for supporters, and then, you know, contributions are the business side. So that's a different thing. But by the same token, like, you want to get a handle on us? You want to say something? Yeah, no, and the radio show is real. It's a backstage pass. That's the way I view it. It's like a VIP experience. Like, rather than saying, going with the old money for content exchange, where it's like, you give us money, we give you the rights to content. If you don't give us the money, you can't see the content. We think that's dumb because the entire point of content in 2019 is to go viral. So we're not going to do that. Rather, we're giving you a backstage pass. We're giving you like behind the scenes previews, like just a sense of like what we're doing and an ability to interact with us, engage with us about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and maybe, shape how we think. So somebody says Sundays for Subs radio is going to be canceled because traveling. Yes, it is going to be. It's going to be moved a day early. So we're going to do Sunday for Subs on Saturday this time, because and the scopes are free, right? Like, I mean, I do a shitload of scopes. They're free. I'm going to keep doing scopes. They're free. Like, I feel I like doing scopes, and I mean, this is a way to engage with us if you can't afford the Founding Fathers thing. Like, it's not like I'm not engageable with otherwise. I'm just saying the most reliable way. Right, and Ian Chong is there. Like, you want to hang out with Ian? Talk with Ian? He's on the Discord too. And he'll be there, I think he'll be there on Saturday, yeah. We'll want him in. And we'll try and bring more people in, right? Here's the thing, guys, right? Like, the more people support us, the more money we have in terms of a month. I mean, the reason I really like having a monthly subscription is it makes our planning easier, makes our hiring easier. Like, if you do a one-time donation, I'm like, okay, how projectable is this? But if you're willing to do a monthly donation, then I'm like, okay, this is how much we have. This is what we can count on. So I'm like, okay, now we have this much of a cushion in terms of monthly revenue, so we can bring somebody on, right? So like, what? So somebody says, what's the website? humanevents.com/members, and then click the button. But like, why are we able to do Ian? And if you can't afford it, it's totally fine. Totally fine. Not offended. Not even mad at all. Totally understand. It's a premium product. We're keeping it that way. There's good reasons for that. 98% of our product is free. If you can't afford it, enjoy the periscopes, enjoy the tweets, share our stuff. We're totally happy, right? Kathleen says you're going to write a book about how you create this whole new approach. Well, we'll wait until it actually, manifests itself into a completely enterprise. It's billed monthly automatically. Book bonus deal, right? If you sign up, and we're only going to, again, this is only going until June 1st, you'll get a signed book by Raheem Kassam. The next signed book, he's going to get that done. We figure out how to get him to write it. He's been very busy of late, so we need to give him, I think what's going to happen when we get back, especially because we have Ian, I think Raheem's going to have some more time to sit down and crank that thing out. He's been, he's got some stuff written down already, but like the last 3 weeks or so have been crazy. So I think the book has taken a back seat as of the moment. So we're going to solve that problem, get the book done, get that to you guys. It's going to be an experience. Yeah, the UK streaming. I mean, and this is a way to support what we do, right? I mean, in a sense, well, the other thing that a founding father is, Periscope's not really monetizable, but it's a way to support Raheem and I and our entire project, right? Human Events is one of our projects, but the Periscopes and the social media is another part of Raheem and I's project, and the founding fathers thing is a way to support that. Do I think Spencer is legit or an influence agent? I have no idea. How would he behave differently if he were an influence agent? It's a good question. Stable. Yeah. Yeah, why not both? Could be. Could be. I need a haircut, dude. My hair is all, it's too long. Haircut. GitHub sponsor. Okay, I don't know. I suspect that's going to be not nearly the revenue that we're seeing from Founding Fathers. Also seeing some random bumps in ad revenue. We had one article yesterday. This is a weird thing. We'll talk about business a little bit. Had this one article about Dunkin' Donuts yesterday. Totally like not our primary focus, right? It was just kind of a filler article, like 300 words, whatever. But it was something. Raheem had a sense that it was a good article. Generated like 200,000 hits. 200,000 hits. We had a huge day. We had like 166,000 page views yesterday just from this one article. There's like a randomness to this. Like there's just like you roll the dice and then you're like, oh, jackpot. Oh, just that somehow got 1 million people's attention. So yeah, donuts are popular and it went super viral. And it's like not even that interesting. It was totally like, I was talking about this Raheem. So there's like clickbait, which is unfair. And then what I would call basic bitch Breitbart, right? Like, I don't mean to be mean to Breitbart, but basic bitch content, right? It's not clickbait in the sense that, but it's not like incredibly complicated. And so, I think of myself as like, man, I write these think pieces like, checkmate and platform access and civil right and Candace Owens' lived experience. And you came a founding father, my man, Mike, love you, bro. All these like lived experience things. And then like, man, I work really hard and they do okay. And then we publish like this random 300 word article on Dunkin' Donuts and it just explodes virally. Yeah, donuts, is there anything they can't do? It's so weird. It's like the whole business is weird. So to kind of give you a hint at like how we're approaching it, again, Periscope, I love hanging out. We're telling you what we're doing. It's not even that big a problem. We're going to have two verticals. So we're going to separate into like a blog and human events proper. And so the blog will be like a little more clickbaity, a little more basic bitch, because like people tell me we should do stuff like that. And I'm like, fine. And then we're going to have human events, the main thing, which is going to be, prestige and at core driven for the subs and by the subs. We're just also going to have the blog because free money, I guess, So he says, so we get the term founding father, and those who come after us are called cannon fodder. Yeah, that's not good branding, Christoph. How's it been hanging with the bad boys of Brexit? Interesting. Good people. Jukes is really interesting. Nigel, Tice. This guy, George, I don't remember his last name. Cool guy. Lots of cool people. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to discriminate, but yeah, that's sort of where we're going. I mean, but I do want them on separate verticals because, sort of Raheem and I joke that like tabloid intellectualism, Raheem's the tabloid guy, I'm the intellectualism guy. Like Raheem's like, look at all the traffic this got. And I'm like, it's dumb. Why do we have it? I don't like it. I want nothing but beautiful, wonderful, brilliant things on my webpage. And he's like, but look at all the money it's making. And I'm like, but it's not, it's dumb. It's stupid. So we're having this constant tension between us where it's like, we're trying to resolve it by being like, okay, that can go over there and we can make money off the ads from that content. But I want my beautiful, pristine human events over here. So, it's interesting. Yeah, I didn't see George, not George Farmer, different guy. I know George. Is Trump Farage basically Reagan Thatcher 2.0? Could be. Good chance. Will Barr prosecute? I don't know if he'll prosecute, but he's definitely following the threads. This is a serious investigation, especially after the Durham appointment. Serious investigation. All right, folks, we've been going for like half an hour. I think that's good. Thanks for watching. Hope you appreciate it. Hope you enjoy it. Again, to support us, become a founding father, humanevents.com/members. Great way to support it. Monocle's here. Your picks are killing it, dude. Keep bringing the heat. We love your pictures. They're exactly what we're looking for on our website. Ink Monocle, you should follow them. Like if you're here, Ink Monocle, adding Monocle, follow him on Twitter too. His photographs are sick. His photographs are the ones that you were using for the Nigel Farage pieces on the website, which are just killing the game. So check him out. Follow him on Twitter. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.